In classrooms everywhere, teachers are being asked to complete a certain curricula within a year. However, these same teachers are being encouraged to teach students how to think, how to question, and how to play. In just my few 3 years of teaching, I've been exposed to 4 different books, or even 3 different movements, if you will, that inspire me to do just this. Making Thinking Visible, a book by Karen Morrison, Mark Church, and Ron Richart, along with Creating Cultures of Thinking, a book by Ron Richart, were 2 books given to me by my administrator. These books push the envelope in teaching kids how to be thinkers. Another book currently shaping my role as an educator is A More Beautiful Question by Warren Berger. This book was assigned to me in a master's course, and it encourages teachers to guide students to ask more and better questions instead of being so focused on the answer. Finally, The Power of Play, How Spontaneous, Imaginative Activities Lead to Happier, Healthier Children, a book by David Elkind, was recommended to me by a mentor teacher when I started student teaching. This book urges teachers to extend the kindergarten learning experience and allow your students the opportunity to play in order to promote healthy mental and social development. With all of these different movements being encouraged, while also having to stick to a curriculum mandated by your district, how can a teacher make more time for thinking, questioning, and playing while still fitting in all the curriculum? To help me better answer this wicked problem with seemingly no solution, I reached out to my colleagues for support. I created a survey that was sent to 43 staff members at my suburban elementary school. Although few responded to this survey during this busy time of year at school, I managed to learn a lot from the responses. 100% of my responders were general education teachers, which bodes well for my research since it mainly concerns general education teachers anyway. From these gen ed teachers, my survey was able to decipher how often they let their students play, for how long, and if they noticed a difference after they play. The most valuable responses, however, were the short answer responses. When teachers took the time to share a short answer with me, it provided me insight into how they see this problem in their classroom. I asked them a question: do you explicitly teach your students how to ask questions separately from, but similar to, a math, reading, or writing lesson? If so, how? If not, why not? 100% of responders answered with yes. Only 2 responders did not elaborate. Those who did explain noted some specific strategies they use, like solving problems with peers, teaching students to use thick versus thin questions, and asking students themselves, what makes you say that? This made me think. By questioning our students, maybe they will be more likely to question as well. And maybe this doesn't have to be a separate lesson, but something we say during a reading, math, writing lesson, or even a social moment at recess. A very similar question I asked my survey takers was, do you explicitly teach your students thinking strategies, separately from, but similar to, a math, reading, or writing lesson? If so, how? If not, why not? 83%, or all but 1 responders answer this question, yes. The most helpful responses said that they teach thinking routines across all subject areas. Thinking routines were developed by Ron Richart, author of the books I noted earlier, Making Thinking Visible and Creating Cultures of Thinking. These 2 short answer questions have led me to realize that maybe the problem isn't that we need to figure out how to have more time for thinking, questioning, and playing, but that we need to incorporate thinking, questioning, and playing into the curriculum we are already teaching. After this realization, I put together a plan for teachers to do just that, incorporating thinking, questioning, and playing in your current curriculum. I created an infographic to present to my colleagues and have as a guide for us as we are looking to incorporate these 3 giant movements in education: thinking, questioning, and playing. If a teacher is looking to incorporate thinking in their curriculum, some suggested ideas are to teach thinking routines to be used in all subject areas. They could also model their own thinking during all lessons. Sharing their thinking during social times is a great way to bring everything in full circle. If a teacher is looking to incorporate questioning in their curriculum, they should always be questioning their students by asking, what makes you say that? They can also be teaching questioning techniques like Burger's why, what if, and how. Lastly, they should always value students' questions when brought up. Incorporating play can be quite tricky, but to start, teachers should keep their usual playtimes and try their best not to minimize it. An idea is to allow your students the freedom to play if they finish their work early, within reason, of course. Perhaps most valuable is the idea of giving your students less explicit instruction, but more guidance in playing or experimenting with a phenomena to discover your lesson's objective across all subject areas. This infographic guide may not be a solution entirely, but it's a start.